Hey, folks, this is Andrew Bennett with InsuranceThatFits.com, where we help you fit the need and fit the budget for your health insurance and Medicare needs. What we're going to be talking today about is the Inflation Reduction Act, the first round of 10 drugs. You probably remember hearing about this a couple years ago. The first round of 10 drugs that Medicare could negotiate prices on takes effect in January of 2026. There's already a list of 15 more drugs for 2027. And this is just, I can't overstate how big of a deal this is. This is a very big deal. In my opinion, ever so humble as it may be, the US has really been subsidizing drug costs around the world because these drug companies, they'll accept a price in Germany and Europe and Asia, Japan, Singapore, wherever, with the knowledge that they can make up all the profit they want in the good old United States of America. And so this is going to kind of equalize the playing field globally, but it's also going to be a huge thing for people inside the Medicare system to be paying less for their drugs. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at this. I'm going to share my screen, and this is the 2026 list here. Now, if you want any of these documents, these are PDFs. I can email these to you if you'd like. So just contact me and you can read more about it. So this list of 10 drugs by itself accounted for 20% of total Medicare Part D covered gross prescription cost during this time period, basically the year from June 2022 to May of 2023. Eliquis, 16 billion. That's what we spent. And when I say we, I mean taxpayers, our government spent this. So getting these drugs down to a negotiated rate is just going to be a huge, huge thing. Again, think of how many hundreds of drugs there are. There's thousands of drugs. So thousands of drugs, and these 10 alone accounted for 20% of the Medicare spend on drugs. So that's huge. So Eliquis, Jardiance, Xarelto, Januvia, Farxiga, Entresto, Enbrel, Imbruvica, not sure how to say that one, and Stelara. I think I've got clients on, someone, not one particular client who's got all of them, but a client here and there who takes all those. So that's a huge, huge big deal. Let me delete my little scratches there, and we're going to go to the 2027 list. So this is the 2027 list, and now it's got 15 drugs. So Ozempic, Rybelsus, and Wegovy, all essentially the same thing. Trelegy Ellipta. Man, this is a big deal around here in Tennessee. Tennessee is one of the worst states in the country, or East Tennessee specifically, for pollen and asthma and stuff like that. I've got a lot of people who take this Trelegy Ellipta, so that is going to be a big, big deal. Um, Zentonde, I'm not sure how to say that one for prostate cancer. Paul Pomalyst, don't think I've ever heard of that one. Linzess, I know I've got quite a few people on Linzess. The Brio Ellipta, Tragenta, Xifaxan, Xifaxan. Yeah, I think that's how you say that. Anyway, Janumet. Um, so again, 15 drugs. These account for maybe less. This top one is $14 billion in spend. That is amazing. So getting these drugs down to a better negotiated rate is going to be a huge deal for a lot of people. And my understanding is they'll roll out 10 or 15 drugs a year just moving forward. So over time, this is just going to make a huge amount in what we all as Americans pay for prescription drug costs. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the out-of-pocket maximum. So the out-of-pocket maximum went into effect this year. So there are 62 million Americans enrolled in Medicare. Okay. Of that 62 million, around 11 million are expected to hit the out of pocket maximum of $2,000. That's one in every six people will spend this year, it'll be $2,000 or less. But in the past have hit that number. That is crazy. So the way that's going to work, typically an out-of-pocket maximum only applies to what you spend out of your own pocket. In this case, strangely, the out-of-pocket maximum includes what you spend plus some discounts and rebates and things between the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the pharmacy benefit managers, yada, yada, yada. So, in actuality, for a lot of people, their out-of-pocket maximum, what they have spent is going to be below $2,000. Again, a huge big deal. All this stuff was part of the Inflation Reduction Act that got passed when President Biden was president. When President Biden was president, yes, during the last administration. To the best of my knowledge, the current administration has not changed any of this. So that's a very, very good thing. So, folks, if you want to know more, you want a copy of these PDFs, just give me a call, shoot me a text, an email, whatever, and I can zip those over to you and you can take a look at them in more in depth. I hope y'all have a great evening. And if you're on one of those drugs, then I know you can't wait for that new pricing to roll around. Thank you much, and y'all have a great day.